Peace and blessings, family. This is Brother Mike X. Welcome to Brother Mike X Speaks. Tonight I want to talk about some observations on the topic of leadership. In the black and brown neighborhoods, leadership is sorely needed. The traditional forces that we've looked to in the past to provide, such leadership have been by and large negligent. Politicians in too many of our neighborhoods are MIA, missing in action. While we have an abundance of churches in our neighborhoods, I don't know about your town or your city, but I know in New York City, whether you in the Bronx where I live or you out in Brooklyn or Harlem, we have an over proliferation of churches. Sometimes we have 5 churches on the same block. Three churches might be situated right next to one another, under different banners, or different denominations, so we're not getting leadership from those sectors too many times. The adults, the elders in the community, a lot of times, they're not directly connected, to a line or a lineage, from their age groups, on down, to the young people, so it's like a free-for-all. It's like chaos too many times in the black and brown neighborhoods. The traditional civil rights leaders, are dying off, and the ones that are left, a lot of them seem more interested in their personal banner or their personal livelihoods, and most of them are not providing or seeking to provide day-to-day leadership. Too many of them are waiting for, it seems, for one of our brothers to get shot down by the police or some other high-profile type of situation to occur, where there's going to be a lot of press and there may be an opportunity, to get a payday, for them to come out and for us to hear their voices. But for the day-to-day situations that we're dealing with, schools that miseducate, the fact that we have no business foundation in most of our communities that we can take advantage of, that will help to not only provide us with, goods and services, but also possibly jobs, so we can begin to employ our own, to help us to learn how to exist with one another in peace and harmony. We don't see those people, so again, the community is left without leadership. And so it comes upon us, the average, grassroots, brother or sister, who was living in communities like this. It calls for us to strive to become our own leaders, to strive to get into a position where we can strengthen ourselves as individuals and be a spark or a beacon, to show the others that, we can take ownership of our lives and our neighborhoods and begin to fix the problems that exist there and move towards living amongst each other in an empowered, uplifted, and civilized manner. The leader, the person who would aspire to be a leader, male or female, must be a student, just like a teacher. A teacher has to be a student. You can't teach what you don't know. If you don't know, how can you teach? And as far as being a leader, if you're not going in a particular direction, then how can you lead? You know, the word lead is a verb, it's an action word. You know, and to be a leader, you know, you have to be about action. And so you have to be a student. You have to avail yourself of knowledge, you know, and you have to be open-minded. You know, you should always strive to live up to whatever degree of knowledge you are dealing on at that time. And you should be a lifelong learner so that, you know, you can advance, you know, up through the many degrees that knowledge comes in. You know, truth, you know, actually, you know, would probably be a more apt term. You know, it's about seeking truth, you know, and truth, knowledge, you know, to me they're synonymous. They come in degrees, you know. So, and on every degree, you have to be, you know, dedicated to living up to yourself what you're advocating for others. You know, you can't contradict in your own life what you're striving to advocate for others, because, you know, that right there, you know, will be kind of like a death blow, you know, to the intent and purpose from which you're striving to lead. You know, so, you know, you should be adding to your body of knowledge. You know, you should be striving to live out the best of, you know, the principles that you're operating from. And I believe that there's many avenues. Like, truth is expansive. You know, truth is universal. You know, truth, you know, I believe, my particular belief, God is the author of all truth. You know, and many people have different names for God. You know, creative intelligence, Jah, Jehovah, Allah, you know, Yahweh. You know, there's all types, you know, of beliefs. And I believe that all of that is cool. You know, whatever system of belief that you are particularly coming from or dealing from, for the time being, that's cool. You know, I'm not going to strive to fight you to make you believe what I believe, and I'm not going to let you fight me and make me believe what you believe. You know, to me it's cool. You know, if you're a Christian, you know, be the best Christian that you can be. You know, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. You know, represent God's mercy and grace in your own life, and be a vessel, a conduit to shower that love and grace upon other people. You know, if you're a Muslim, you know, and you believe that there's no God but Allah, you know, strive, you know, to want for your brother what you want for yourself. You know, the peace, the security, you know, the harmony, you know, the justice that you want. You know, strive to be a vessel, a conduit, you know, to shine the very same on other human beings. You know, whatever you are, you know, if you are a member of the nation of gods and earths, if you are a 5%er, a poor righteous teacher, you know, then, you know, work to shine your light, you know, on the 85% deaf, dumb, and blind. You know, strive to bring them into, you know, the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, you know, that you're operating from. You know, and at the same time recognize, you know, it's not about fighting in the name of truth. It's about building common ground in the name of truth. You know, if you are serious about, you know, whatever philosophical, theological, ideological foundation that you're presently operating on, and you're striving to live up to the best of that particular foundation, then that should cut down on the time for you to be in judgment or conflict with other people. You know, and instead of, you know, striving to prove other people wrong from your words and from your mind, you know, if other people are mistaken, let your actions show forth. You know what I mean? That your way is the best way. This is how we can cut down on a lot of the conflict. You know, um, show proof, show evidence, show and prove, through you that there's power, that there's wisdom, that there's light, in your particular foundation. And let that be the thing that attracts other people to your banner, like moths attracted to that light in the summertime, or, so, I just wanted to say some of these things. I think that, um, we have a glorious opportunity, even through all of the darkness, even through all of the chaos, even through all of the ignorance. Each and every one of us has a glorious opportunity, to live a purposeful and uplifted life, to benefit ourselves and to benefit those, who are around us that need to see living examples, of the possibility of uplifted lives, um, and just keep on pushing, and just keep on pushing, family, so let us be leaders, let us be open-minded leaders, let us be humble, you know, as we submit to truth, in whatever form that it may come from. Let us not fight each other, based upon, religion. Let us not fight each other based upon, race or ethnicity. Let us not fight each other based upon geography, and, I want to close out by saying this, if you are, I say again, if you're a Christian, and that's your particular viewpoint, I'm not asking you to convert to any other thing. The only thing that I'm asking you to do is to live up to the best, of what that particular belief system challenges you to live up to. And from my vantage point, I've seen a lot of great and sincere Christians, who strive to live uplifted lives, and do not molest other people, and they live, they're living strong within their life, and they're, advocating that other people live strong in their lives, and at the other point, I've seen Christians who are brainwashed, that think that, it's all about just getting into the pew on Sunday, but raising hell the rest of the week. I've seen Muslims that are sincere, one of my strongest brothers, a spiritual brother, my brother Kadir, more popularly known as Funk Master Wiz, coming out of Atlanta. That is my brother, from another mother, but my brother, in the spirit, coming from, a Muslim perspective, by and large, and then there's people who, who call themselves Muslim, but they act like jinns, you know what I mean? And we can go on and on, I just ask you to live up to the best, live up to the highest truth. And the highest truth is something to be shared for the human family. The highest truth is not something that is about division. The division comes from people who are not humble enough to submit to the truth. That's where the division comes from. You know what I mean? So I'm going to close out on that note. Get at me, leave your comments, and, let us, each one of us, wherever we reside, in the many neighborhoods that need leadership, let us step up and fill the void left, by irresponsible politicians. You know what I mean? By church leaders, who are more interested in their particular church or chapel or mosque, that speak more about the hereafter than they speak about the here and now. Let us challenge ourselves to provide that light. Peace and blessings, family.